Modern India, 1700 to 1947. A voice that refused to die. Opening. The soul of a civilization. Before it was called a colony, before borders, flags and chains, there existed a civilization that breathed freely. India. A land where villages fed themselves, where cotton clothed the world, where steel was forged before Europe learned the art, and where knowledge travelled farther than armies. India was not silent. India was not weak. India was alive. But history changed, not with thunder, but with ships. Chapter 1. When trade turned into chains. 1700 to 1757. They did not arrive as conquerors, they arrived as traders. The British East India Company, smiling, negotiating, promising profit. Warehouses became forts, ledgers became laws, and friendship slowly became control. In 1757, at Plassey, a battle lasted only hours, but its consequences lasted centuries. Not bravery, not justice, but betrayal decided India's fate. A company now ruled a nation. Chapter 2. Loot without guilt, 1757 to 1856. Taxes rose. Crops failed, not by nature, but by design. Farmers were forced to grow indigo instead of food. Weavers broke their own looms in despair. Wealth flowed out of India, and poverty flowed in. Famines killed millions, while grain was exported for profit. This was not misrule, this was economic exploitation. But oppression carries a secret curse. It creates resistance. Chapter 3, 1857, the year India screamed. A rifle cartridge greased with insult. It touched the deepest nerve of belief and ignited decades of suppressed anger. Soldiers rebelled, farmers joined, queens mounted horses. Rani Lakshmi Bai did not fight for a throne, she fought for dignity. The revolt failed, cities burned, lives were taken mercilessly. But something irreversible happened. India had spoken. The British listened and trembled. Chapter 4. The Crown tightens its grip. The company was removed. The British Crown stepped in, more powerful, more ruthless, more organised. Railways were built, not for Indians, but to move resources faster. Education was introduced, not to liberate minds, but to create obedient clerks. But they underestimated one thing: an awakened mind. An awakened mind. Chapter 5. India begins to think. 1885 to 1915. Newspapers spread ideas. Meetings spread courage. The Indian National Congress was born, not with weapons, but with words.
In 1885, a new chapter of India began. The Indian National Congress was born. It was founded by a British man, Alan Octavian Hume, who believed that dialogue was stronger than violence.
Indians began asking dangerous questions. Why are we ruled? Why are we poor in our own land? Then, a frail man returned home. Chapter 6. Gandhi and the Revolution of the Soul. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. No crown, no army, no anger. He turned truth into a weapon.
Champaran showed peasants their strength. The Salt March showed the empire its weakness. Millions followed. Women stepped out of homes. The poor stood tall. Fear slowly disappeared. Non-violence was not weakness. It was moral courage. Chapter 7. Many paths, one dream. Freedom did not have one voice. It had many. Subhas Chandra Bose chose a different road. He challenged the empire with the Indian National Army. He shook the loyalty of British soldiers and reminded the world that Indians could fight. Bhagat Singh, young, fearless, unbroken. He kissed the gallows so the nation could wake up. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar fought a quieter war against caste, humiliation and inequality. He ensured that freedom would mean justice, not just independence. Chapter 8. The Final Hours, 1947. The empire was exhausted. The world had changed. On a midnight filled with hope and tears, India became free. On a midnight filled with hope and tears, India became free. But freedom arrived wounded. Partition tore families apart. Trains carried corpses instead of dreams. Independence was achieved, but unity was tested. Ending the promise of India. India rose, not because it was gifted freedom, but because it earned it. Through suffering, through sacrifice, through belief. This is not just history. This is a reminder. Freedom survives only when remembered, protected, and respected.